administration degrees from BYU. And following his graduation from there, he received an ROTC commission as a second lieutenant and served in the U.S. Army Medical Service Corps for 20 years. I think you'd appreciate, as I did, that during our song today, the Star Spangled Banner, some of us cover our hearts, some of us salute. Your district governor is one of those. While in the Army, he received a Master's of Healthcare Administration from Baylor University. I think that's another strategy for paying in-state tuition. Upon retirement from the military, Clay entered the long-term care profession in Grand Junction, Colorado. And since 2001, he and his family have lived in Cedar City, where he is the executive director of the Kola Regional Care and Rehabilitation Facility, which has 120 beds. His Rotary history is exactly what you'd expect of an incredible individual recruited to be our district governor. He served in Rotary since 1999 and was a charter member of the Horizon Sunrise Club in Grand Junction, Colorado, and was their Centennial Club president in 2004-05 for the next club he joined, the Cedar City Rotary Club. He also served Utah as an assistant governor and was selected to serve as the Rotary International District Governor for District 5420 for the Rotary year 2015-16. His civic achievements included service as a board member to the Utah Healthcare Association and a member of the advisory committee for the College of Science and Engineering, as well as the School of Nursing at Southern Utah University. Blade was selected as the Rotarian of the Year for 2004-05 for our district, and in 2007, he was honored by the Cedar City Chamber of Commerce as Man of the Year. He's married to Vicki, who is here with him today, and they've been blessed with 2 wonderful children and have 3 grandchildren. Please join and show warm appreciation for our district governor, Clay Hamilton.
I want you to know, when I was down in Brazil serving a mission for the church I belong to, my deputy joined us down there about a year after I'd been there. I remember working in the mission office, and I was kind of financial secretary. My deputy comes through the doorway, bends his head down to get through the doorway. You look up like that. And I've always looked up to you, Mike. I want you to know that. And Sean, it's really good to have you here. I want you to know in Rotary, you really are able to develop a lot of friendships with people you wouldn't get to know otherwise. And all I can say is, please stay in Rotary. I was talking to Floyd's father, distinguished gentleman down here, how happy, I'm sure, proud you are of Floyd. And I know he does the same for you. He's very proud of you. But we just talked very briefly, and I said, it's nice for you to be a Rotarian all these years. He said it wasn't easy, because I can promise you that you always have other priorities and demands on your time. And so I really commend each of you for staying in Rotary, and I hope you will stay in Rotary, so that when your hair grays and maybe falls out, you'll still be a member of Rotary because of what you feel right here inside, what good you can accomplish. Well, the first thing I want to do is let you hear from my lovely wife, Vicki.
Need to be in a really good place like this. Wow. First thing I'm going to tell you is something that everybody seems to have a question on. And this is part of my life now. The adults have a question, and they will say anything. Children have a question, and they're quick to say, I love children. Anyway, they'll ask me, why is your eye closed? I'll tell them. Some years ago, I was teaching children in primary to sing in church. And I had the younger children in there. I said to them, why is your eye closed? And I said, well, years ago, I had an operation on my head. And while I was having, I'm losing my voice, sorry. While I was having that operation on my head, they put you to sleep, don't they? I said, yeah. I said, when I woke up, my eyes said, I like sleeping. I'm going to go on sleeping. And they tried, but that wouldn't wake up. And that made sense to them. Well, it was a massive brain tumor. And the thing that happened was that I told the older children later on, I tell them a different story about the nerves in our bodies. And the process of trying to get that brain tumor out, they jiggled a couple of nerves. Because the nerves are temperamental, they said, that's it, I quit. And they thought the first year that it might regenerate itself, but it didn't. And we had prayed hard, and we hoped hard. When I was in the hospital again a year later, and the doctor looked down below me and he said, it's a good thing your eye has opened. I said, what? We've been praying so hard. And he said, if your eye had opened, you would have seen double for the rest of your life. Now, you notice that I wear shady glasses because the eye, even though it's closed, is totally dilated. And the bright lights do things to my eye. And so that's why I wear the shady glasses. They're only 10 on the top of the line. But anyway, that's beside the point. The thing is that our lives go along pretty well, and then suddenly we have a change. Changes come in our lives. And generally, they are for the better. At the time, they may not seem like they are. But we learn something from them. I'm going to join Rotary at Bradenwood Grand Junction. And I went to a couple of meetings with him. I thought, I don't know about this. I honestly don't know about this. It doesn't seem like much. And then the more I went, I became aware of all that Rotary does and how it changes people's lives. I want to tell you a real quick story now about an insect. An insect that starts out as a little worm on the ground, up the tree, on the tree bark, and everything else. And then suddenly, the insect says, I think I want to change. And so it starts to anyway, it starts to build a house for itself, that little worm. And it goes around and around and around itself until pretty soon it has a little cocoon, a chrysalis. And it stays in there for quite a while. And then one day it says, this house is getting awful tight. I want a change. And so it starts to make its way out, slowly but surely. We can't help it. We cannot help it. Because it must go out on its own or it'll die. And what comes out is a beautiful butterfly. Okay. I told this story in some more detail at the pets to the spouses. And I was telling her about this, and I thought, you know, Rotary brings changes for the better. And I'm so grateful for it. I think the thing that struck me to begin with, because like I said, I have a real love for teaching children, was polio. And what it was doing for polio, I was always in tears when I started talking about it. Anyway, there was a lady there, sitting there with the group, and later on she gave me something special. She also told me, if there were no changes, there would be no butterflies. I love it. And I love all of you. Thank you.
You can see that I married above myself. I love you very much. We've been through thick and thin, and I guess that's what this life's about. I want to show you a couple of video clips. This one is very significant to me because raised in Sugar City, Idaho, when the Teton Dam burst in 1976, Vicki and I just entered the military, and I was in San Antonio, but I remember waking up Sunday morning because the flood happened. The dam disaster happened on Saturday during the day. It would have been at night. Hundreds of people had been killed. I can remember waking up Sunday morning in San Antonio and it said the Teton Dam in Idaho had burst. And I said, boy, Vicki, I think they need the Teton Dam. Sure enough, it was the Teton Dam. But Some of you may remember this, and some of you may not remember it because you weren't born. I need that turned up just a little bit. We know how to do that. Yes, I need the sound turned up just a little bit. While he does that, I think most of you got the essence of that. They said 10 people were killed, but what I remember, the stories I remember, and some of you may have been part of this, is that there were people that would get up Saturday morning about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They would drive all early morning long till they reached Rexburg, Sugar City, some of the other places, and then they would work all day long trying to help move mud and move other things, trying to help clean up. And then when darkness came, they got in their cars, their pickups, buses, and went back to their homes because they wanted to help those in need. I remember one instance, they wanted electrical contractors for a particular issue, and they were hoping to get 10, maybe 12, hopefully 15. Over 50 electrical contractors showed up because of this disaster that happened. The goodness that people will do. This is another video clip. Some of you might remember there's an airplane, DC-10, has one engine in the middle and 2 on the side, at the very back of the plane. And this plane was traveling from Denver to Chicago. And once they reached, I guess, maximum height, the middle engine, the big engine on the back, blew up. And it destroyed the hydraulic system. The only way that they could control the plane was by the thrust of the other 2 engines. And the plane, of course, was descending gradually. It couldn't make it all the way to Chicago. And so they had to find another place for the plane to land. It had a runway long enough, hopefully long enough to sustain a crash landing of sorts. But this is this video clip. We didn't have to get total chaos in here. First couple of seconds, bodies are being thrown around. Some was grabbing their chairs, others were on their chairs. Debris, smoke, and fire everywhere in the first couple of seconds.
These, but remarkably unscathed, Sheppel climbed out of the wreck and into a cornfield where his section of the plane finally comes to rest.
Took a couple steps away and heard a and the next thing you know, I'm back inside the wreckage. I didn't think about it. I didn't believe this. I didn't think if I go back and think I might find my way back out or it might explode. It just happened. I heard the crying and I just went back in the wreckage.
Amid flames and debris, Sheppel found that they carried to safety 11 of those 6 feet of miners. Sabrina, flying with her parents and 2 brothers. Miraculously, all the miners survived the crash. In fact, 184 passengers survived, but 112 were killed.
184 survived, 112 were killed. And Jerry Schemmel was working for the NCAA and had missed 2 previous flights. They were on standby, and he and his friend were able to catch this plane. And his friend who was sitting directly behind him was killed in the crash. And Jerry survived. And you heard the story. I hope you, sorry for the sound, but I hope that you understood that he did go back into the wreckage, not knowing if it would blow up or just what would happen, trying to discover the baby that was making this crying sound. And he rescued this baby and was considered a hero in this instance. Rotary provides opportunity to serve others every single day. We don't need an airplane crash. We don't need a flood in order to do good. That's why we're Rotarians, because we want to help every single day and every opportunity that comes by. Let me talk to you very briefly about a good friend of ours, Barbara Soulier. We encountered her and her husband, who was a podiatrist, who entered the military in Fort Eustis, Virginia when we were there. He was in the military for 3 years, decided to go back to Salt Lake and set up a podiatry practice. And the Souliers are very close friends of ours. Vicky considered Barbara as one of her, probably her best friend. And unfortunately, about 2 years ago, Barbara contracted leukemia. And she went through many treatments, was waiting for bone marrow transplant. She spent several weeks in the hospital. She was lucky enough to go home and spend some time, and then they decided to have her go back to the hospital, conduct some more tests, so wait for this bone marrow transplant. And when she entered the hospital, things went from bad to worse, and she ended up passing away a year ago. And Vicki and I went to her funeral. And it's interesting that there were several other ladies there that said, Barbara was my best friend. You know, on the tombstone of Barbara could easily be written, you know, a legacy of love. And I ask each of you, not knowing when we're going to meet our Maker, whatever Maker we believe in, what can be written on your tombstone? And I know it will be a tombstone of service, because you're good Rotarians, because you're here. Otherwise, you'd be doing something else. Apparently, Rotary service is a priority in your life. And for the young members that just joined, remember what I said about Floyd's father. It wasn't easy. He could have easily decided not to be a Rotarian, because I'm sure he had many other demands on his time, but he's remained a true Rotarian. So for the younger ones here, starting out, for those of us who maybe have been Rotarians for a few years, please maintain your membership. I want to introduce the Rotary International theme this year. So each of you have a theme pin. I hope you'll wear it proudly. And let's see what our Rotary International president has to say.
We look up to and admire the towering figures of history. They gave us such great gifts to humanity. Abraham Lincoln gave the gift of human dignity to so many. Mother Teresa, who gave the gift of compassion to the forgotten. Mahatma Gandhi, who gave the gift of peaceful change to the oppressed. All of them gave their lives to others. And their very lives became a gift to the world. We know we are not like that. We do not aspire to live the lives that they live. We can be inspired by their example. We can be inspired to say, how can I, in the life that I live, without neglecting the responsibilities that are so dear to me, how can I too become a gift? We can and we will. My friends, this will be the challenge that we will embrace together. It will be what I ask of you. It will be the key that will guide us. Be a gift to the world. Yes, be a gift to the world. And we all have a choice whether to keep our gifts to ourselves or to use them to be a gift to the world. Use your gifts. Use them thoughtfully. Use them wisely. Use them generously. You have been given so many gifts. And now you have been given this great gift of 1 year to take all of your talents, all of your gifts, everything that you are and can become, and be a gift to the world. You have 1 year to take that potential and turn it into reality. You have 1 year to lead the clubs of your district and transform the lives of others. You have 1 year to build monuments that will endure forever, carved not in granite or marble, but in the lives and hearts of generations to come. This is our time. It will not come again. Let us grasp it. Let us be a gift to the world.
So I wanted to keep that part in there that said, you have a chance to lead your club. I hope you feel that world-class president Floyd is not the one to lead the club alone. Each of us need to do our best to bring those that aren't here. If you have other associates that aren't here, give them a call and say, we missed you. We want you to come to Rotary. We need you. Because more good can be done by doing that. Rotary gives us an opportunity to give back, helps us to be heroes to those in need, and we ultimately bring world understanding. But this is some things that they really don't talk about sometimes. Rotary also strengthens our family. And I can tell you that Floyd's father instilled that within him. Otherwise, he would be a Rotarian. And I hope that we're doing that with our children and grandchildren. You know, when you send people to RILA, when you give scholarships, try to get your kids involved and try to get them to attend. We're trying to get our granddaughter, who's a sophomore in high school, to go to RILA this year. Right now, she's so shy, so introverted. She said, no, I don't want to, but we're still working on her. Brad Howard, who is the zone director, Brandon's zone director for California, he said this. He was going on a trip over to, a Rotary trip over to Africa, and one of the things they were going to do is give clothing to African children who don't really have that much clothing, if any at all. And so he talked to his 5-year-old son and said, why don't you go to your closet and get some clothes that you don't wear, maybe you've outgrown, but why don't you go select some clothes, and I'll take them over to Africa and I'll get to these African children. And so his son went into the room and selected several pieces of clothing and brought them to his dad, and his dad took them with him over to the trip. Well, when he came home, his son approached him eagerly, saying, Daddy, do you have any pictures of the African kids that have my clothes? And his dad said, no. He included those clothes with other clothes, and he didn't know who they went to. The little boy, a little dejected, walked out of the room. His dad said he felt that small. He wished he would have taken some pictures. But after a short while, the son came back into the room, and the son said, Daddy, we did a good thing, didn't we? At 5 years old, that little boy was taught the importance of giving to others. And he said subsequently he did take his son on trips. And his son has grown up from serving those in need. Those who went to Mexico for district conference, I've heard tremendous stories about how lives have been changed in youth that are so selfishly oriented. Some, maybe not all, but it changes their perspective of things. A group of youth, Mike Wells tells, that they went to the dump to take some trash out to the dump, and they came back, a couple of them were crying. He ran up to him. He said, who got hurt? Okay, what happened? Tell me what's going on. And they said, you know what? We saw families searching for food in the dump. Not one or two kids, we saw families. We have so much that we can give. It does strengthen our family. It expands our business opportunities. I joined Rotary to give back. I've been in the military for 20 years. Didn't really have a chance to join the service club. We moved every 2 years. And so I joined Rotary because I wanted to give back to the community. And you know what I found out? And there's some that join just for networking. They want to build their business. They don't see it happening 2 or 3 months, 6 months. They leave the club. Very sad. Please, the new members don't do that. But what happened in my perspective is that I found out that people came up to me and said, I'm gonna come to your nursing home when I get my knee replaced, because I know you'll take care of me. I know your caliber of person, and I know that I can depend upon good care. That's a lot of pressure on me, but Rotary has helped me. Leaders in the community I call by the first name. They know me, I know them. So there are many business opportunities that enable us to grow professionally, and then or to expand our business and to grow professionally. You know, the 4-way test that we have, what a great code of ethics. I'm sure all of us are honest people. If you look at that code of ethics, is it fair to all concerned? Will it build a better friendship? Sometimes we don't think of that. We want to be honest, but sometimes we don't think of those other things. So we need to be open-minded. And I promise those things will happen. All of us have influence one way or another. When we come together, we unite our influence. And so we're like-minded people. We come together. Normally, we are identifying problems because we want to change things. We're not satisfied with status quo. We come and we make a plan. Then we take action. That's the most important thing. Even John Hugo mentioned that. You know, that taking action is so important. So if you find somebody in the community, maybe they're not a Rotarian, they have a passion for, let's say, bike riding, you know, like extreme bike riding, what do you call it, trail riding, mountain biking. And you want to do a fundraiser for mountain biking, bring that person on board. Or if you have somebody that really is passionate about the Women's Crisis Center, bring them on board, and their passion can transform into a plan. And then first thing you know, we don't have one individual with the Women's Crisis Center, we have a whole group of Rotarians taking action. That's what it's all about. So when you consider the club growth and people that you know in the community, approach them, those that have passions, and bring them on board. Rotary International President wants us to prove the cause of Rotary and be a gift to the world. He has done this through the presidential citation. These are some areas of emphasis that can engage Rotarians in the club as well as help us plan club activities. And these are the various areas that are in the presidential citation. And we've asked Floyd, I think we've asked the president-elect to try to monitor that in most of the clubs. Maybe you have it organized differently. You did achieve the presidential citation. Many clubs didn't, because they wait till the last day and say, oh gosh, I've got to get this into the district governor, and it's too late. So we want that monitored through the whole year, and you do it very well. I also have selected some areas of emphasis to prove the cause of Rotary and to help us be a gift to the world, and I call it the Champion Club Challenge. And it basically is in 4 areas. In new generations, we want to increase our attendance at RILA. When you talk to Penny Atkinson, who is the chair of our district New Generations Committee, she says everything begins with RILA. We want to have many RILA participants. Another area is membership. We want to grow our membership. And the Salt Lake Club is so important that you grow your membership. You set the standard for the entire district because the club is so large and has so much influence. The Rotary Foundation, we want to increase our giving to the Rotary Foundation and attendance at district level events. District Assembly, which we've already had, and then the district conference that we're going to have in Cedar City, beautiful Cedar City, and we'll talk a little bit about that. These are the Salt Lake Club 24 goals that Floyd set at our pets in February. And he did come back and talk to the board. We tried to inspire every president-elect and said, we want you to set the goals and then lead your club to achieve those goals. And these are what goals we have. Right now, for new generations, we want to send 12 students to RILA and have 3 facilitators. Now, I even challenged at the board meeting today, if you could send 3 or 4 more to RILA, that's just that much more good, because we want to have 200 people going to RILA. 200 youth. Right now, we have 168 as our goal. So you can still send a few more if you want to. And you know what? If you got grandchildren, children, motivate them, sign them up. It'll strengthen them. It'll strengthen your family, like I said before. Membership, 15 new members. But you know, Floyd has even gone beyond that. He said we're going to have a net increase, and we're going to reach the number of 300. Right now you have 246. So that's even higher than the goal that Floyd set in pets. So you could probably put another 4 on top of that, so you got 45, 55 members, 55 new members. Hopefully retain those that we have. And then the Rotary Foundation, Floyd has set a goal of $55,000 and change to the Rotary Foundation. And this excludes Polio Plus. Polio Plus assessment is how much money per member, Scott? $32. So we're hoping every member will contribute $32. And then in addition to that $32, we're hoping that they'll contribute more to the Rotary Foundation. We hope that your Paul Harris Society members increases. Right now you have 14 Paul Harris Society members. Those are members that have set a goal to give $1,000 a year. And an easy way to do that is sign up for Rotary Direct. You don't have to write out a check. Just say, Rotary, you can go ahead and tag my credit card for $85 a month. That's changed. $85 a month is a lot less than $1,000 a year, isn't it? Anyway, and then participation at district level events. You had a goal to have 24 attendees, 16 attended. These are the leaders and new members of the club. We had 16 attend. And then for district conference, Floyd set a goal of 15 Rotarians. And I'm hoping, and those Rotarians will bring their spouses and maybe other family members, but I'm hoping that you will come to the district conference in Cedar City. I'm sorry, the sound is coming. It's got music.
Mickey and I want to invite you to come and experience the spirit of Cedar City at our district conference, May 5th through the 7th, 2016.
Come and enjoy Cedar City with us.
See you there.
Nice place for kids to play. Park Discovery. This is our aquatic center. Those beautiful hills. That's Canara Falls, north of Cedar, up at the Bryan Head. attended the district assembly should already have that, and I hope you wear it proudly. How will you be a gift to the world? The choice you make will change your life. We don't need a disaster. We don't need an accident to be a hero. And what's going to be printed on your your headstone? Choose wisely. Your future depends on it. Thank you very much. Plate to your world-class president. It says, "Be a gift to the world," District 5420. And Floyd, I hope you and maybe Linda will help you do this. Put this up on the table every meeting, and then after your year has been completed, you take this home and put it proudly on one of the shelves in your home, okay? Thank you.
We're glad you brought away those beautiful flowers from every living thing in our village. And we're sure thankful that she made the trip today. We want you to know that I sat down with several of our past club presidents and said, I'd like to make a gift to our Salt Lake Foundation in your name. $100 is our connection.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I celebrate $100 donation. We appreciate it. Next week, we have Dr. Jay Bischoff coming to speak on the dangers of prescription drugs. Shalom, I don't have that statistic with me, but one in, you remember that you sent to me?
160 people die a day from overuse, and 80 some are prescription overdose.
160 Americans die daily from prescription drug abuse. So that's the subject next week. We hope you'll all join us, and we are adjourned.